Whether you're just starting out in the bourbon world or whether you're been doing it for a while, maybe you got a collection, maybe you got a couple bottles. You want one bottle that can do it all. It sips neat, it takes ice, it crushes in an old fashioned, and it doesn't break your wallet. So, this is Knob Creek 9. And is it actually the best overall bourbon for beginners? Let's put it to the Wildy Proof test. What's up? I'm Rob with Wildy Proof, and today we're talking about Knob Creek 9. 9-year-old, 100 proof, sitting in that sweet MSRP of around $30 to $40, very affordable. It's a beginner friendly, but it doesn't have to mean boring. And so let's see if it sits in that nice spot for you for your first real bourbon. All right, now let's fresh crack this Knob Creek 9. Here we go. Oh, yeah, nice. Got to get the Glen out. Little glug glug. On the nose, you're going to get some of the oak, some peanut, some caramels, a little bit of vanilla and baking spice. On the palate, you get that peanut forward bean profile. It's backed by caramel and oak with a nice little spice on the back end. At 100 proof, it's got some heat, but it's not throat punch type of heat. For beginners, that's important because you want to feel the proof without regretting your life choices. If you like your bourbon a little nutty, oaky, and a little bold, this is going to make a lot of sense. Now, for a beginner, this checks a lot of boxes. You're getting real age, real proof. It's on most shelves. There's no hunting, no lotteries, no you got to hook up at the local store type of thing that's required. If you want a bottle that feels like a step up from those entry level things without jumping into hazmat territory, this is right in the pocket. Now, for beginners, yeah, you may not want to drink it neat. It's going to be a little bit harsher. And so I recommend maybe even putting a couple of drops of water in it or even a couple of ice cubes. That's going to open up the flavors. You're going to get a little bit more peanut and caramel pop to it, and the oak is going to die down. That heat back off just a little bit. Now, in a cocktail, you got an old fashioned or a whiskey sour and 100 proof 9-year-old bourbon. That's really going to be the backbone of it. A lot of beginner bourbons disappear in cocktails, but Knob Creek 9 will not. It's very versatile, whether you like it neat on the rocks or in cocktails. It absolutely checks every box for a beginner. Now, it's not going to be for everybody, though. Some of you may not like the peanut thing. It does have a little bit of a nutty profile, and that may not be your jam. If you're super sensitive to the heat or the oak or the spice, 100 proof, 9 years, gonna feel a little aggressive at first. You may want to try something a little softer, a little sweeter, a little easier. You might be happier with a wheated bourbon like Maker's Mark or Larceny. All right, so what's Knob Creek 9 going to score on the Wildy Proof scale? On the nose, I'm going to give it a 3. Not super complex, but you got that oakiness and that nuttiness to it. On the palate, gotta give it another 3. Very solid, shelfer type of pour. On the finish, I'm gonna give it a 4. I really like the rye on the back end that gives it that little bit of heat. The mouthfeel, I'm gonna give it another 4. A 9-year-old, 100 proof, it definitely drinks very well. And then overall, I'm gonna give it a 4. 9-year, 100 proof, shelf ready. You can't beat that value. That's a treasure for sure. So that's going to score to 3.6 out of 5. It's very versatile, very much value, a lot of character. Can't go wrong. It's not quite a treasure, but it's a legit foundation bottle for your shelf. So is Knob Creek 9 the best overall bourbon for beginners? If you want a real bourbon experience at a realistic price that works any way you drink it, then yeah, it's absolutely in the conversation for the best all around starter bottle. If you're proof shy or if you want something softer or sweeter, then maybe you should start with a Maker's Mark or a Buffalo Trace, then graduate to Knob Creek 9 when you're ready for a little bit more punch. So drop your beginner bourbon pick in the comments. What bottle do you think deserves the crown? If you like rated bottle breakdowns like this, hit subscribe. Check out the Wildy Proof tracker over on Patreon where I rate everything from budget bangers all the way to allocated heartbreakers. I'm Raw with Rounded Proof, friends. Cheers, and may your first bottle not be your last.